Good afternoon, YouTube. I'm back. It is Sunday, July 19, 2020. Had to make a quick little run to the vape shop. Got to get me some liquid, some juice. Anyway, a couple of things real quick. Doing my heart some good. I'm glad to see. We got, seems like a lot of people starting to open their eyes, starting to wake up to what's going on, and starting to smell the fish in the air, if you know what I mean. And it feels good. It feels real good. I'm not gonna let my guard down. I'm not gonna assume that the tides are turning just yet, but I'm starting to see a little more of the right things taking place. A little bit more people getting on the right side of the scales, if you know what I mean. Trying to help balance this thing out some, if not even overturn it the other way. That would be phenomenal. But I just wanted to come on and say it's really good to see this. It does my heart some good. It should do a lot of people some good. Just people waking up to the nonsense. It's getting ridiculous. And folks like Officer Tatum that I mentioned in an earlier video, folks like the Hodge twins, you gotta check out the Hodge twins. It's really good to see that they're finding content to put out there that proves, and most people still have a level head on their shoulders. It's a small portion of society that is screaming very loudly, is what it is. So don't listen to what they're screaming about. Pay attention to what's really going on, and know this, that all of this stuff is taking place simply to keep the pedophile ring under wraps. Those people don't want that stuff getting out. Who could blame them? I mean, that's beyond evil. That's beyond evil. I mean, these folks are taking kids, little kids, raping them, beating them, even killing them. Satan is rubbing his hands together. He's got a really special place in hell reserved for these people. And I know I'm going to see it in my lifetime. Unless the Lord has my number to come up before then. Naturally, I'm going to be alive to see it. And that feels good. It feels really good. Far too long, these people have gotten away with what they're doing. And I mean, look, don't take my word for it. Don't take anybody else's word for it. Go do your own research. It's out there. It's still out there. They're trying to wrap it up. They're trying to cover it up. But you can still find stuff. People are still finding and sharing stuff. And as long as we can do that, as long as that's just a sliver. If we can keep that sliver going, let me tell you something. The Power of One. Awesome movie. I don't remember the whole thing. I really don't. I remember it being a really good movie. I don't remember the whole thing. But there's one line in that movie that I'll never forget. Dude says, a waterfall starts with one drop, and look what comes of it. It's on, folks. They don't like it. This stuff's coming out. And I'm talking all the way up to the top of the Monarch over the other side of the pond. There's some really heavy names, really big players wrapped up in this stuff. I'm not just making claims. I mean, you can go out and you can find this stuff. You have to read between the lines on some stuff. There's no doubt about that, because they're not that blatant. But you can find what you need to find, and the little bits and pieces that truly justify the situation kind of hold it all together. Kind of make the parts that they kind of cover up come to light. Make more sense. Do your research, folks. Don't be lazy. They count on you to be lazy. They count on you to take the mainstream media's word to heart. They don't want an informed populace. You know what happens if you have an informed populace? They didn't want our brothers and sisters that were enslaved to learn how to read. You know why? Because if they knew how to read, they could read and understand what bondage they were under. Well, thank the Lord above, they learned how to read. And by the way, going back to that movie, The Power of One, I do remember that part of that movie. He taught slaves how to read. He helped them break the bonds. And it was a white dude down in Africa, South Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Watch the movie. It's really good. But back to the case at point. These people really don't want this stuff coming out. Look, hey, the Clintons are tied up in it. The Obamas are tied up in it. The English monarch is tied up in it. You got Jeffrey Epstein, which as soon as he went to jail and suicided himself, all of a sudden all this stuff started coming out. We got COVID-19. We got the race war. We got the Civil War. All of a sudden, whoa. Nobody knows where to look. Nobody knows what to pay attention to. Everybody's stuck in the mindless minutia of what the mainstream media wants you to believe. Hey, look, I watch the news. I look at CNN from time to time. I don't want to. I don't like to. But you got to know where your enemy's headed, what they're doing, what their plans are. You got to have the big picture. You can't get the big picture when you're in an echo chamber. You can't. Don't get me wrong, an echo chamber is a comfortable place to be because everybody feels the same way you do. Well, let me tell you something, folks. This is a whole big world with a whole lot of people, and not everybody's going to feel the way you do. Some people's going to have some points that you just don't understand, but when you sit back and start to think about some stuff, start to do your own research, it makes sense, or at least some sense. Folks, wake up. Wake up. They're out to get you. They're out to get me by dividing us so that we cannot come together as one and defeat them. That tells you right there how to win this thing. It tells you. You just got to come together, unite against a common enemy. And let me tell you, folks, I'm not your enemy, and you're not my enemy. They are our enemy. So what are we going to do about it? Anyway, that's all I got for you right now. Voice of reason. How you living? Peace.